Yo, it's your boy DZ, man. If you ain't already subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button and hit that like button for me and share this video. Listen, man. Dude named Eligio Bishop. They called him Nature Boy. The man was sentenced to life today. He called himself a cult leader, right? And he was influencing women to following on some talking about he was the prophet. Like, ladies, I'm gonna let y'all check this court proceeding out and let y'all see this. But if somebody starts talking to you, telling you to follow them, and they're the bishop and the Christ and God, you need to beware. You need to totally pay attention and watch this person closely, because something's not right with them. If somebody's trying to lead you in the right direction, they're going to show you they lead you in the right direction. They're not going to try to bring all that spiritual stuff involved in the middle of it, because that shit is a lie. That's the falseness that they bring to you to manipulate your brain. You got to pay attention to that, man. These dudes done got out of control with this, man. They done got totally out of control with this. They influenced the women to come follow them, and then they got other people being influenced to send them money, saying that they delivering a certain kind of message. Like, I'm sure that everybody around the world is seeing this type of stuff. So you got to understand that it's a manipulation game. Women, take your ass to work. Do what you got to do to provide for yourself. Don't look for no man to try to tell you how he's going to lead you by being naked and taking your clothes off and, on some weird shit. This guy would have probably got away with this manipulation for a long time if he wouldn't have had a fallout with one of the girls that he had following him, and she was in his group, in his cult group, and he put a video out on her on online to the world to see him having a sex tape or whatever with her. He would have probably went longer. He just played himself, because then she turned on him and said that he raped her. Now, I don't think in my mind the way I think that he raped her. I just think that she was easily influenced, and once she found out that she was being manipulated, she switched the manipulation up on him. These are the things that happen. So the manipulation that he was doing was wrong, but I just don't think that he raped her. But this is the game of the justice system. When you play with this system and they want to get you out the way, this will happen. From him being able to manipulate other humans, they're looking at the situation like they know that us as people become easily influenced by a lot of things. They know this. This is easily studied. We get manipulated, especially when we're looking towards hope. Hope is what manipulates us, because we think we're going to get something from it. So he had women manipulated. He got 4, 5 women all around him. They all in Indian style, meditating, and they worshiping him on some weird shit, man. Ladies, I'm ready to play this video, but don't let no man manipulate you like that. Understand who you are. Learn who you are. Don't look towards no man to try to lead you in the direction. You got to know where you going. And if you find a leader type of guy and you love him, yeah, but don't let no man tell you he need to have 6, 7 women around him and he all making y'all worship him, talking about he's the prophet. That's a game of manipulation, man. And he's paying for that. And the world understands that these type of dudes are out there, and I can't understand how women keep following these type of dudes when they don't mean you no good.
The defendant, Eligio Bishop, is charged with raping a woman who wanted to leave his religious group that he called Carbon Nation. Our own Court TV, Ted Rollins, has a closer look at the case.
In this video, I will be teaching you how to think. And I know a lot of people are already saying, mind control.
The alleged cult leader of Carbon Nation, Eligio Nature Boy Bishop, was arrested after a former cult member claimed he posted revenge porn after she left him.
But truly, I'm a really sweet person. They want to crucify me, they want me dead. There's the hate around me. You can feel it. That's like any other prophet. Only me, I'm the return of Christ.
Carbon Nation is a polygamous group that believes in nudism, sexual education, veganism, and that members hand over all financial information to their leader, Eligio Bishop. He has amassed significant followings on YouTube and Instagram. A former member of his group spoke with an Atlanta news station.
He literally held me hostage. He took all of my identification, my passport, my birth certificate, my social, my bank cards, everything, you name it.
Court documents claim in March of 2022, Bishop raped one of his members after refusing to let her leave. He then posted, the allegation says, the videos onto his social media pages.
So it's like, lock up all the real men, all the dominant males. Let's lock them all up. You know what? I still forgive her.
Bishop is charged with rape, false imprisonment, and 3 charges of prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. He's pled not guilty, claiming she consented to participating in the sexual acts and has never held anyone against their will.
I want to apologize if I offended anybody in any kind of way. I said it, the truth, in the wrong way. I stand by everything that I stand by.
The trial kicked off yesterday with opening statements. We want to take a look back together at some of those highlights. First from the state and then the defense.
The thread that runs through this entire story, really from the very beginning, is a desire, a thirst for knowledge, something on a spiritual level, something that transcends eras, cultures, distance. Young people experiencing and coming out into the world on their own for the first time, longing for a kind of knowledge, spirituality, of belonging. Eligio Bishop promised that. He promised that he had all of the answers to all of their questions, the answers to their prayers, and that he could fill their spiritual voids. He alone could speak the truth. He alone showed them what they could be, in tune with nature, living off the land, a communal sort of paradise. Newell first saw Eligio Bishop and his group in a restaurant where she worked. She was 22. It was about 2018. She was intrigued. The way they dressed, the way they talked, they seemed so genuine. She kept in touch with the defendant online, and she was planning a trip overseas to Bali. Instead, she left home and joined the defendant's group. Another thread that runs through this case is power. This defendant's desire to maintain power over the people in his group. There was this atmosphere of fear and violence within the group, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Who was going to be next? Power, accomplished through the ever-looming threat of physical violence. The second part of that preface, though, what the defendant did with that power. The answer to that, the evidence will show, is sex. You will hear, again from the former members, that this defendant had his choice of the women in the group. When he reached his room, he grabbed her in his arms and literally would not let her go. She was crying, and she told him she had to leave, that he would not let her go. He asked for sex one last time. She told him no. She had to leave, but he would not let her go. He asked again and again. She said no, again and again. He put her on the bed. She told him no. She had to leave, but he would not let her leave. He asked again, one last time. And finally, after countless times of saying no, realizing she wasn't leaving that room unless she gave in, she said, okay. They started having sex and she pushed him off. But even then, he would not let her leave. He flipped her over and penetrated her from behind as she was crying. He escaped the next morning before anyone woke up.
Let's go back and look at March 24th, 2022. This defendant, along with some other people, were living in a house. It essentially was a polygamous relationship. This defendant had a woman that was considered to be his queen, and then there were other women that were there as well. We're not here to hide that from you. That's not what he's charged with, okay? Now, on March 24th, 2022, indicated, based on what she told law enforcement, that she wanted to leave the house. And so she wrote text messages on that day. There will be evidence. But other things that are going to be extraordinarily relevant about March 24th, 2022 is her interview with law enforcement and the different things that she did. So on March 24th, 2022, she ended up leaving the house the next morning, which was the 25th, okay? But on that day, between the time she talks to law enforcement, which is not until April of the next month, essentially, 2 weeks later, she gives an interview to law enforcement. She never actually tells law enforcement that Mr. Bishop raped her. What she did was she came down to the DeKalb County Courthouse and she attempted to get a misdemeanor warrant against Mr. Bishop. And in that misdemeanor warrant, she didn't say anything about being raped. She said that he had posted some videos online that she wanted him to take down. That was it. She never said anything about being falsely imprisoned, because she had to make a sworn application in front of a judge in order to get a warrant taken out. So they scheduled a hearing. In that, there was never a single word about rape. She described going back into the house and that she and Mr. Bishop made love. Those were the words that she used. She additionally said that she believed Mr. Bishop was faking it, that he didn't really love her, but that he was faking being excited to have intercourse with her. Not a single word about rape. Not a single word about false imprisonment. The state's going to say, and they're going to put in evidence to prosecute, that Mr. Bishop falsely imprisoned her. And you just heard the state, through his words, and his words and my words are not evidence, but you just heard the state say that she left the house, she had called an Uber. I can't imagine how you would be falsely imprisoned if you have the ability to call an Uber. But she alleged that she was being beaten by another person. And so because she was being beaten by this other person, she decided to leave. That's what he just said. She packed her bags. Nobody stopped her from packing her bags somehow. She was able to get her paintings out of the storage. Nobody stopped her from doing that. They don't even describe, according to what he just said, Mr. Bishop stopping her from doing anything. She gets outside to an Uber that she's somehow able to call. And yet she's been beaten so bad, according to her. When she gets out to the Uber, she decides that she wants to go back in and say goodbye to a person who allegedly has treated her so bad for so long. That's not false imprisonment.
Still with us, attorney Ron Zambrano. Ron, just very different characterizations of what was going on and what happened. But the state, I thought, delivered a powerful opening to say what he did with that power is the problem, and that he would not let her go, and that he did have sex with her, even though she'd said no, amounting to rape and false imprisonment.
I think it was skillfully done how he laid this foundation of like, this guy had power. He wanted the power. He asked for the power. That's where we're starting from. And then from there, it's this argument from the prosecution side. He abused that power to the extent that he did the crimes that they're allegedly saying he did, such as making sure people can't leave or using or coercing them for sex. And it was only about sex. I think it was beautifully done. And I think the jurors are like, oh yeah, cult leader, power, how did he abuse it? I follow it. I think it's very, very skillfully done.
And quickly, how would you defend that? And what's your best defense?
I think the best defense is, look, she left in an Uber. How bad could she be? And look what she said at the time. But these things are delicate. We have some sexual assault cases, and memory and the way people process things take time. And if the prosecutor is going to do that, they're going to need an expert to explain that.
Yeah. Now, that situation there, they explained in the courtroom what the victim said. The victim said that he took advantage of her when she wanted to leave. This guy had women believing that he was going to solve all their problems. No human being can solve all your problems. Ladies, understand that. It was a manipulation from the beginning. But what the situation went to the next level was when he decided to post the sex video on social media. That there took it to another level. So now she's looking at, you're putting her out there to another level, even though all the women with him were willing to walk around naked. They lived off the land. They felt that this man was going to be their savior. And when it came to him for them to understand that he was manipulating them, now everybody wants to turn on him. Now it gives them room to enhance whatever's going on, because he was known to have people following him. That's the thing. He was known to have the women following him. So that there alone is something that is looked at like you have mind control over people. So anything that's claimed against you from those people, you're automatically guilty of what they're saying, because you took their minds and you put it in a different state to worship you. It's already known that our minds come in the world as we're all dumb to things until we learn certain things. And these people that he was doing this to were young people. So people that minds that haven't been developed, whereas though he can manipulate them to believe that he was going to save their life and he was going to help all their problems and that he was going to be the one that does everything for them and they're not going to have to worry about anything. But when they got to seeing that this guy didn't have nothing, he was manipulating us, they wanted to leave. She wanted to leave, the person. And by her wanting to leave, he wanted to put her sex tape out there. And that there caused him his life. Now he has to fight for his life. And the judge probably could have gave him a lighter sentence. But, you know, when you in these situations, you can't get cocky when your life is on the line, because then they're going to give you the max. And that's what happened with him. He was in there running that game, that manipulation game. And we understand that the system is manipulated a certain way, but you can't go at them full throttle with the things that you might know how the system is manipulated, because it's their game that you in now. When you're in their game, you got to play by their rules. If not, they going to go over and above beyond when they deal with you. The guy was sick, man. He was definitely a sick dude, because he took it upon himself to talking about having sex in front of the children, and that why the women would breastfeed. He would have sex with the women while they breastfeed, that he would be naked in front of the kids and he would let the kids touch him. so that they can be comfortable with being naked. The guy was definitely sick. And he manipulated these women to make them think that he was going to be their savior. And it's like a lot of things in life that are put out there are things that manipulate us. They are straight things that manipulate us. So you have to understand that the things that you might think that are bringing you hope, they're not real. It's to try to stabilize you, to help you cope with everyday life. If you can't see it, you need to really question it. Is this real? I don't see this. But women sometimes allow these old funny, weird ass dudes to tell them things that are unreal. And it's like these same type of people where they're sitting there manipulating the women to believe that they're going to do something for them that they can't do for themselves. You have the ability to do these things for yourself. You don't need some old dude that don't really got nothing going on but a manipulation talk game to lead you in a dark hole. These people was living off the land from what he's saying, and it just didn't go right for him when he posted the sex tape of the girl. So, like, it wasn't going to go well for him anyway, because you're dealing with people's personalities and you're manipulating them. And that shit takes a person's ego to another level, whereas though they feel that they're above some things. So they're going to be handling people like you have control of people. He might have told her, you ain't going nowhere. He might have said, I want you to stay. I'm going to put your sex tape out. And then when she leaves, he put the tape out. Now she's asking him to take the tape down, and he's not taking the tape down. I know damn well he wish he took that damn tape down. I bet that. I can bet my bottom dollar that he wish he never put that damn tape up, because he would have still had his old little shingdings going on with those women that believed that he was going to change their life. But these situations are doomed to crash, because you're dealing with multiple people's personalities that you're manipulating to make them believe some things that are not real. They was sitting around meditating together, and he's telling them some things that don't really exist, man. And the judge, when she sentenced him, she told him he was a master manipulator, which he is. You have to understand that these people are master manipulators. That's what they are.
You know, I would have been inclined to exercise some discretion had Mr. Bishop shown any remorse, guilt, or regret throughout this process. And I saw nothing during the trial but for him laughing and cutting up and looking shocked and surprised at all of the testimony.
And the judge is a woman. What you think?
Mr. Bishop,
gonna hold it on.
a master manipulator, and probably the classic definition of a narcissist, like that I've ever seen. You took advantage of these folks who were essentially lost souls, looking for some guidance, looking for some connection, or looking for some comfort. And you were able to fill a void for them for some reason. But in the process, you completely took advantage of them. and have caused potentially, I hope not, but potentially irreparable harm. I hope that all of the victims will be able at some point in time to recover from this and to find some type of peace in their lives. And maybe the verdict will help in that regard. But I hope you all are able to move on at some point and find some peace, whatever that is for you. So with that, I am going to follow the recommendation of the state in this case. On the rape, he'll be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, followed by 10 years consecutive for the false imprisonment. And on the internet porn, count 3, 12 months to serve, concurrent to the false imprisonment. The internet porn, I'll run concurrent to the false imprisonment. Internet, 5 years. So it's 12 months on count 3, 5 years on count 4, and 5 years on count 5. All of that will run concurrent to the false imprisonment. But the false imprisonment is consecutive. So it's life without parole plus 10 years. And hopefully he will never be able to take advantage of anybody else again.
Judge, can you be sure to go over his post-conviction rights with him as well as his...
Yes.
I was just going to put those on the... And Judge, before, I know there were certain conditions, obviously, with the way the law currently exists in the court's sentence, the defendant will not be out. Just in case the law changes in the future, we would ask that the conditions of no contact with any of the victims and that the defendant may not profit financially in any way off of the facts that led to this case.
All right, Mr. Bishop, you're to have absolutely no contact, direct or indirect. That means sending any of your followers to contact them, getting any messages to them, no posting, no internet posting about them, no contact, direct or indirect, no phone calls, emails, no nothing, no visits to their homes, nothing, 0. They don't exist anymore. And you are not to profit in any fashion from the crimes that you have committed. So no book deals for you, no movie rights, nothing. And also with respect to your appellate rights, let's see, you have 30 days, I believe, from today to file a motion for a new trial.
That's correct, Judge, and I'll get him a boilerplate motion for a new trial file once the sentence is
Okay.
filed.
And
He has 30 days from the date of his sentencing, which is today, to file a notice of appeal or a motion for a new trial to preserve his direct appeal rights. He also has 4 years from the time that his conviction becomes final to apply for a petition for a writ of habeas corpus. Generally, a conviction is final when all direct appeal rights have expired.
Okay.
And he has 1 year on the misdemeanor.
Right. That's right. The one count is a misdemeanor. All right. Anything else?
Judge, on his old indictment, 22 CR 2234, the state has pushed through a null pros order, so that is cleaned up, and that was sent earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
I also sent Ms. Jones with your office and copy Ms. Defense Counsel, but a motion and order to seal the identity of the jurors given the publicity and security threats involved in this case. I just asked that the court consider and grant that motion. There is an order that is also included with that.
Okay. What information, and can you guys approach about that? I don't want to put this.
This didn't go too well for him. And then you see he's sitting at the jail still because he didn't want to be in the courtroom because somebody had COVID. So when it got to the sentencing part, he stayed at the jail. He thought he was winning by manipulating these women, and it came and turned around and bit him. You're dealing with multiple personalities, and you manipulating situation. You don't benefit from that, man. So he's in jail, sick right now, feeling that. He just got sentenced to life, so I'm sure he's gonna appeal the conviction and try to fight back. But
all right, anything else with this?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, then we are in recess until Monday morning. Okay, thank you all, and is the sentence in my queue already? Or? Oh yeah, let's do that. Put it up on the screen so that council can check it and make sure everything is accurate, and then we're going to have to get him to, can he sign it at the jail? They have that ability?
Legally, there's no legal.
There's no requirement that he signed it. Okay.
yeah, ladies, don't allow no man telling you that he's gonna be able to change your life and make your life something out of something. Don't allow it. It's not gonna happen. Don't find yourself in that situation where you're manipulated to make a man think, letting a man make you think that he's going to be able to do something for you that you can't do for yourself. You got the ability to do all them things for yourself. Straight up. And I'm gonna try to find I gotta try to find that video where he was talking crazy. Like, it was a video where he was talking real crazy about how he had sex in front of the kids. And I'm going to try to see if I can find that. And that's one thing. When they see that you manipulating people and then you ain't got no remorse, and then somebody claimed rape on you, that situation there went to a whole nother level. Dude was weird anyway. Let's see what his wife says.
The wife of a reported cult leader wants to tell her side of the story, and it's an interview you only see on 11 Alive. Eligio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy, is still in jail, facing charges that also include rape. His wife tells our Paula Soro he forced her to marry him after 3 years of knowing each other.
I feel that now looking back, I feel that I fell in love with an idea because he pretended to be someone that he wasn't.
Behind this smiling face, Velvet Marquez faced her hardest years next to Eligio Bishop.
He literally held me hostage. He took all of my identification, my passport, my birth certificate, my social, my bank cards, everything, you name it, medical documentations.
She says Bishop, the leader of the so-called cult Carbon Nation, went from spoiling her to abusing her when she got pregnant.
I was forced to engage in sexual activity that I did not want to do. I was still strangled on multiple occasions. So I had to willingly engage in these sexual activities because of to keep myself safe. He would abuse me in front of the women.
She had their daughter in 2019, and a year and a half later, she says he forced her to legally marry him in a Las Vegas chapel.
There was no medical attention given to us. So when I actually went into labor, I had to be rushed to the hospital 2 hours away.
For years, the cult would drive and settle across Central America. Velvet says Bishop lived off of other members' PPP loans and life savings. She gave him her $3,000 college fund, while others gave tens of thousands of dollars. And after 4 tries, she successfully ran away with their daughter with no money but hope.
My child is important. I don't understand how anybody could leave their child to be with him or to go live with him.
And we've been following this story closely since his arrest, and also have interviewed another woman who lived with Bishop after Velvet did. You can find her side of the story and more about the group on 11alive.com.
Wow. So the wife spoke out and, said she was manipulated too. He had these women believing something that's not real. And they was living in the woods, I guess, out there on the land. Like, man. There's some crazy dudes out there, man. They'll tell you anything to have their way. And that's a messy situation, man. And I feel bad for the women because women, they get easily influenced, man. And they do got it hard, honestly, when they're meeting different guys, because women naturally want to, be up under a man. And you got some women that are just strong and they want to do their own thing. But, a lot of women just naturally want to be up under a man. And especially when they're young like that, 22 years old, they really don't understand. You in your 20s, your early 20, 21, you don't really understand. It takes a little bit of time to, understand some things. So you can meet a guy that you think that is in your best interest and really don't mean well. And, get to talking to you and making you believe something that really doesn't exist. And like he did, he told all these women a whole bunch of lies and he made them think things that weren't true. And eventually they tried to get away. Some got away. And then, the one girl, when she got away, he put the tape out on her. And that ended his whole little thing he had going on of his manipulation. And he had people giving him thousands of dollars. Like, come on, man. Like, damn. God damn. What are you giving this man money for? She said she gave him her college fund. Like, damn. Yeah, man. Let me see if I can get this video, man. Let me see if I can get this video, man. 'Cause that video there was crazy. YouTube. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this, man. Yeah, she said he forced her to marry him and everything. Yeah, that was deep. I'm trying to get on YouTube. Let me see if I can get that YouTube. Let me see if I can get the YouTube. Let's see if I can get the YouTube. Yeah, his trial was quick. Yeah, that was a quick trial. Yeah, can't nobody fulfill your hope needs. Don't look towards nobody fulfill any needs of your hope, man. They said Liz Carly arrested the charge. Let's see what this is.
This is why you see some so-called hardware that are lower self with the consciousness, the software of the higher self. That's where you have my friend, and let everybody know your name.
I'm Ray.
Yeah.
Peace
Ray.
Reflection.
How did
Ray.
you pop up here?
Sun
Wow.
Ray.
Sun Ray. Ray's here. Wait, isn't Nature Boy a prejudice? Isn't he racist? How does he have white people there? Reflection. This hardware that you are now looking at, this hardware is a mutation hardware from the archetype. This reflection here is a reflection of that. The original of this hardware came out to show everyone in all of their actions what they're doing. But not all. And this is where it gets tricky, because we're all broken up in all kinds of ways, but no one truly knows what the archetype is anymore. You cannot become the archetype or be the archetype without having the archetype software. Right. So here is one that doesn't have the archetype hardware, but has the archetype software. Right. Here is one that doesn't have the archetype hardware, but has the archetype software. Consciousness. Thank you.
So in this video here was 6 years ago. So he's been doing this for so long.
So, yeah, I'm going back to Canada mainly because, of the safety of us. I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here. So I'm gonna go back there for now until I get things straightened out. And it's like, I came here to be free, and the beings that, one didn't want any contact with, I didn't want any contact with them anymore. Like, they are still being possessive over me.
Like, so why did you leave in the first place?
We can't own.
Why did you leave why don't you tell them why you left in the first place? Did I call you like, hey, come join us, be here with us? Am I controlling or manipulating your mind?
I was gonna leave Canada even before I found nature, so.
You actually tried to, and
like, I just felt like I belonged here. That's why I came here. Like, my heart just felt like this is my family, so that's why I came here. But I was gonna go. I had plans to leave the country even before, like, and then they tried to be possessive over me. So I got put on pills because I wanted to leave.
So basically, her family, she's saying that her family just basically put you on medication because you try to leave. Like, she tried to go to Hawaii before she got here.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I didn't know, but I did ask her before she got here, do you have crazy parents? She was like, well, they don't matter. I'll throw my phone away, because we had someone here else that was white that got snatched out of here before. And so there's another thing I want to address. It seems to be that you might not be able to join me if you're white and you actually have a divine heart and you actually are the immune system on this planet, because the immune system comes in all races, all forms, all shapes. And when I say immune system, I mean just want to live in harmony with nature and stop the destruction and the carbon footprint on this planet. Just being in harmony with nature. That's the culture of melanation. If you want to join Nature Boy, you're not allowed to join me anymore. What you are allowed to do is do what I did. I'm leading by example. That's all I'm doing. I kept getting pulled over for crappy stuff. I just kept getting, because of my skin in America, I just kept getting in legal troubles. Luckily, I've always been someone that was able to accumulate some kind of money to get out of my situations. But what I realized is the whole judicial system, and I knew that it was against me. And I advise anybody to move to Costa Rica and to get up out of there if you can, and do what Nature Boy does. I haven't been the most pleasant personality. I will admit that. I will admit that I've said the truth in a mean way. Like I said it in a firm, authoritative way. Because I was convicted with truth in my heart against the evils. And sometimes I get so mad about the evils in the world that when I speak, I could come off so strong. But my heart is pure and my message is pure, and I want to apologize if I offended anybody in any kind of way, because I said it, the truth, in the wrong way. I stand by everything that I stand by. I just want the world to see what's going on here. I want the world to see how sick we are mentally. I want this to be an example of what you're involved in. And I want everyone to see what's going on. And I wanted to have my own say-so, and I'm sure Sunray wanted to speak for herself before you get back, because they're probably going to try to isolate you and try to twist your words around and speak for you. And so don't worry about the comments. Don't read those, because these, you know, a lot of people are sick. You know, they're seeing things from their perspective in life, and we can't allow our worlds to be, and our perspectives to be affected by someone else's perspective. We have to keep a healthy perspective that's their perception. And when you understand that other people is coming from their world of experiences and prejudices of their own, and then they're speaking out of their heart about what appears to them, to you. A lot of people are just projecting themselves, so when they say negative things, only the truth can recognize the truth. You see? So when you understand that, that's how you're not going to be able to be affected by demons, which are thoughts, low vibrational thought frequencies that people have and they put out. People could be very, very mean, and that's exactly why this is happening, because the media has stalked us day and night. In every angle, they have harassed us and harassed.
And all we are doing is living in harmony. Like, that says something. That says something about the world. Like, it's sick.
But here's the thing I want to say. The lower self will not win this war. This is a spiritual war. You will not win. Your time is up. Your time is up. You can...
Spiritual warfare.
You can try to destroy the truth all you want. All you have is the ignorant to feed off of. And I urge anyone that is in their ignorance to use the information aids to study with an open heart and listen with the open heart instead of judging with your eyes. You cannot use your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears alone in this warfare we're in. You have to use your heart, because the eyes can be played tricks upon, the ears can be played tricks upon, the nose, all the five senses, they can be played tricks upon. We know this with magicians. So I urge everybody to live in harmony with nature, go to the tropics, move to Costa Rica. I urge everyone to do what I've done. This is how we will destroy the planet. Destroy the cancer on the planet. We will destroy the cancer. You can't fight fire with fire. A lot of people think they don't understand what we're up against. We're fighting cancer here. There's a cancer in our own body that we live in. Right now, we live inside of our own body. That's what the planet is. That's what this life is. You're inside of your own body. That sounds crazy, but if I told you you came out of someone else's body, you would say, wow, that sounds crazy. But the truth is, you came out of someone's body and you're living inside of your own body. And the body that you came out of was actually your own body. Now that's deep information.
This nigga's crazy. Yeah, like, and he's been doing this for so long.
If you scared to die,
it just got away from him. It just got away from him. It got too far out of control. It got away from him. So, and now, like,
this is why
it's like ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. Yeah.
And tonight with a story you'll only see on 11 Alive. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy, the wife of a reported...
Yeah. He went too far. He went too far, man. Yeah, he went too far. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think about it, man. My man went too far. He definitely was manipulating on women. And it just didn't go too good for him. At all. At all. Tasha K done had the people in there, all the girls he done had in the cult. Don't ever allow somebody to sell you that type of hope with the manipulation, man. It's like, that's some deep shit, though. That's some deep shit, man. Yeah. And now you got soaking it, man. Now you got straight soaking it. Got a life bit behind it. It's like, was it worth it? And he did that shit for years, man. That shit was going on for years. It wasn't something that just started. It was just when he put that sex tape out of the girl, that's what took it over the top. So that revenge porn ate him up. And it chewed him up. Because he thought he was above some things. And that happens to people. You know, when you get that kind of power. And he had a certain kind of power. Because when you feel that you got other people following you and other people listening to you, it gives you a certain kind of power. makes you feel like you have a certain kind of power mentally. So you're going to take advantage of it and continue to press harder and harder and harder. And you might go too deep. You might get beside yourself. And he got beside himself playing that game. He was mentally able to play on people that didn't know no better because they were younger. But people that older and wiser, they're not going to go for that because they understand that you're trying to manipulate them. And younger people don't understand that in a lot of situations, that the people that you encounter are trying to manipulate you. Even you might have friends when they're encouraging you to do things that you know that might not be wrong. That's a form of manipulation. So, and you don't understand that until you get a little older, like, oh, I'm not going for that. So the victims he found were younger people and influenced them of things that weren't real. But share this video, man. Leave a comment, man. Let me know how you feel about it, man. Nature Boy went too far and ended his career with that, man. It's your boy DZ, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. It's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah.